Church on Wheels was born out of a company that's actually older than I am. It was founded in 1967 and has a 45-year history of working with churches. Church on Wheels really got going when our pastor challenged us to use our talents for the Lord. And these are our talents. We know how to manufacture, we know how to build, we know how to organize.
Our role as pastors is not to figure out all the details and design a process, but to find somebody that has done it before and can replicate that and make life easier for a mobile church.
Building and designing a mobile church is a lot like building and designing a custom home. But this is a custom home that we have to set up every week in under 30 minutes and tear it down in under 20. And unlike a 3,000 square foot house, we're tearing this all down into a 24-foot trailer.
It's a tricky process. It's a very highly complex process. Designing a system, assembling a system, just working the system week in and week out.
We get called in to fix a lot of do-it-yourself applications. And we've seen a lot of things where they're just really not safe. People overloading trailers.
Using parts that are not meant for long haul.
We've seen broken axles.
Not enough power.
We've actually seen trailers turned over in the middle of the road because they were so badly loaded and overloaded.
And if a church can partner with an organization that knows their way around this process, the value in that is really incalculable. The first step in the Church on Wheels process is really the site visit. The Church on Wheels site visit is a service offered by Church on Wheels where one of our consultants will travel to your venue to meet with your team, go through the site with a fine-tooth comb, looking at all the details, measuring the rooms, mapping it all out, looking at ingress and egress, and then we really want to sit down with your team and capture your vision.
We don't look at our job as telling you what you have to have. We don't try and dictate style. We look at our job as helping to make your vision a reality.
That's really the key. We want to capture your vision so that what we do represents your culture and the kind of church you want to be in that community. Once the site visit is completed, we want to take all the information we gathered and use it to design your system. And the system is presented to you in the form of a layout, which is a graphic representation of your entire church. And we pair that with a very detailed proposal. Everything in the proposal is broken out by categories so that you can see that each piece of equipment has a job to do and a function.
One of the main advantages of having us involved in your project is we understand how all the moving pieces work. We understand the ramifications of every decision you have to make, how it affects your manpower, how it affects storage, and how it's going to affect your budget. We're constantly told to quit worrying about the budget so much, but that's our upper end criteria. That's what we're working around, and we're trying to make everything in your vision fit within that number.
The final stage is really the delivery weekend. When the system is fully assembled and ready for delivery, Church on Wheels typically sends a two-man team to spend the weekend with you and your team. We start off right out of the gate unloading the entire trailer and inventorying everything you've purchased. The first setup is typically longer and more chaotic than it will ever be again, just because things are brand new. We're getting things out of original packaging. When we're done with that first setup, we stop, we get questions answered, and we time the first teardown. End of the first teardown, we do the entire process again. A full setup and a full teardown, including loading and unloading the trailer. By the end of the first day, people are comfortable. They get it. They understand that they can do this entire setup and teardown with a minimum of effort and a maximum of efficiency.
What separates Church on Wheels is that we design and manufacture a lot of our products here in-house.
When we originally looked at Church on Wheels and we saw there were other companies that did similar things, what they didn't do was fabricate the carts and things like that. They used wood products or whatever it might have been. But Church on Wheels legitimately fabricated these carts. And as they're coming off the truck, I'm looking at it and encouraged because I know these things are going to last.
One of the key things that led us to the decision to use an outside firm rather than to try it ourselves was the audio cart, where everything is rack mounted in the audio cart. It never gets disassembled, it doesn't get unwired. So each week set up for audio is as simple as plugging in power and pulling the snake to the stage and plugging in for audio check. That was a key feature on how this can be done without burning through human capital in too quick of a time.
We look at Church on Wheels as our way of giving back to the kingdom. We don't have your talents to spread the word. What we do have are the talents to help you spread that word the most efficient and effective way possible. This is something I think we do better than anybody else in the business.